To a much larger community known as the Akan, who make up about 45% of the population of modern-day Ghana and around 33% of Côte d'Ivoire. The Akan include many other subgroups like Twi and Fanti in Ghana and the Baoulé and Abron in Côte d'Ivoire. To get an impression of the mix of these ethnicities, I go to the Azmira restaurant in the Ghanaian capital Accra, which prides itself on serving a wide variety of dishes. Local fashion designer Linda Amper, her husband Carl and daughter Nawarama helpfully take me through what's on offer.
Every region is represented in this restaurant.
Oh my, this is a huge... What is this that's just
being presented? This is called Impotompoto. This is from the eastern region of Ghana, and it's made from cocoyam. This one is kontomire stew. This is typical of Ashanti, and also Ekpiapem and Achems. So it's really the Akan food. That's Banku.
Oh, this is Banku. Oh, I'm getting my fufu mixed with my Banku.
This one is from the Volta region of Ghana.
What's this sauce here?
It's hot pepper sauce.
And what's this known as?
Shito. It's called shito.
I'm glad it's got an O on the end of it. It'd be a problem if it didn't.
You know?
The populations of what are today Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire most likely originally came from the Lake Chad region in stages over the centuries, across the Niger River and then through present-day Benin and Togo. Dr. Gavua lectures at the University of Ghana, which maintains a small museum of archaeology in its grounds.
No community has been static. There has been migrations across the territory over a long period of time due to environmental changes, due to warfare, due to trade, commerce of various kinds, intra-regional, inter-regional trade. People have been moving up and down over a long period of time. That is why today, to some of us, the events of our history makes nonsense of ethnicity, of tribalism, because we have been mixing and remixing over a long period of time.
So as Dr. Gavua points out, although the Asante are one of the best defined groups in Africa today, they are in fact the product of much mixing over the centuries. At first, they lived by hunting animals and gathering wild fruit and berries. Then in time, they began to settle. For those who chose dense forest areas, there were particular challenges. By about 600, these hunter-foraging communities also began to farm and live in villages. But before they could begin farming, they had to clear huge tracts of forest to create agricultural land. And this was a monumental task, and it was so labor-intensive. It's possible that forced labor was used. Just imagine trying to hack away to bring down trees like this one with a pretty solid trunk. Must have taken such a long time. I get a very slight idea myself of just how hard it must have been to get around forests.
We cannot tell the expanse of land that people were clearing at the time, but there's evidence to suggest that they were using polished stone axe heads to produce axes that they probably used to clear the forest. They also had scrapers and various tools that they could have used to cultivate. But as to the mode of cultivation at that particular time, we are yet to pinpoint that.
But farm they did, and as well as crops, they also relied on the palm fruit tree. Even today, this is an extremely important source of food in Africa, and just about every part of the tree is used. So I've happened across this pile of palm nuts, and it's a good opportunity to tell you about the many uses that the palm tree has for the people. The palm fruit, which is this, is used in cooking, and it makes a really delicious soup. The palm nut is used for oil. The trunk of the palm tree is used for the famous palm wine, which is drank, you know, all over Africa. And the branches of the palm tree are used in roofs, you know, for thatched huts. And I'm just going to try a bit of this one because get an idea of whether it's bitter or not. Got a slightly bitter taste, but it's really nice, quite a good specimen. So there you have it. As communities became more settled, they developed chiefdoms. Some of the bigger ones had complex social, economic and political systems, like the Asante. They particularly favoured hilltop sites and established the heart of their civilization in Kumasi, about 200 kilometres northwest of modern Accra. Kumasi was located on the edge of the rainforest, which gave them access to savanna and forest areas. I want to find out more about Asante culture, so I head to the village of Abono, about 40 kilometres outside Kumasi. Here I meet one Asante community leader, Fred Amtwi. He's invited me home to meet his family, his wife and some of his 6 children. His sister Frances has just got back from a long day on the farm. Fred served for many years in the Ghanaian Armed Forces, who are amongst the most active in African peacekeeping missions. Before he tells me about Asante culture, I'm curious to hear more about his time in the military.
I've been to Rwanda, Cambodia, Liberia, Israel.
You said Rwanda,
Yeah.
So were you there during the genocide of 1994?
Yes, yes. Not too much long, but...
And you come from a very peaceful country, Ghana.
Yes, please.
How did you feel as an African when you saw the suffering of the people of Rwanda?
You remember me something. I become very sad. How people are lying outside. People died, not because of the gun, but because of the food, because of the water, running, climbing hot hills, mountains. Your daughter or your son is crying, following you, but I must go. If you come back, maybe gun will kill you. So you saw somebody is dead, crying, dad. It's very pity.
After his experiences working within divided communities, Fred tells me he believes even more that communities such as his are united through a common culture and heritage. And this is one of the reasons why there's a strong bond between all Asantes. And Fred wants to take me to a nearby location that's important to his people. It is Lake Basomtwi, which is situated within an ancient crater and is more than 10 kilometers in diameter. It's a popular spot with visitors, fishermen, and those who fancy a picnic lakeside. It's obviously a lake of great natural beauty, but it's also got huge significance culturally for the Asante people,
Yes,
or as some people say, the Ashanti people.
Yeah, the Ashanti.
Tell us why that is.
Well, this lake, we the Ashantis are controlling it. According to our forefathers. We are controlled because of the hunter who came and discovered the lake. But then here was thick forest. And he was making the hunting on the taboo day. The hunter hide and be to the forest. And he got missing. And a dog with him. On their way coming home, and he saw an animal, that's an antelope, resemble like a deer. He shot it, but through panicking, the bullet hit the animal. So the animal ran through the blood, and then the hunter follows. He becomes surprised. He becomes shocked. So he hid himself somewhere, and the dog started eating the fish. And that animal, antelope, in our language, we call it ochi. And then a deity, we call it bosom. So we combine it together, bosom, tree.
The steady trek of visitors to Lake Basantui keeps Fred occupied. He works as a supervisor at the site. I leave Fred to get on with his work. In the past, Asante communities like Fred's united and formed kingdoms. They became rich because they used the rivers around them, not only for fishing, but for something much more valuable. At the Aquacidai, just about everybody is wearing one of the most famous of fabrics in Africa, the kente cloth, which literally means whatever happens to it, it will not tear. Kente cloth, as I discover when I visit a local factory where it's made, is much more than just beautifully designed material. Kente cloth was originally only worn by Asante royalty. It can be single, double or triple weaved, and traditionally it was woven only by men, but that's something that has changed in more recent years. And the colour and design of the Kente cloth denotes status and clan allegiance. Local culture expert Osei Bonsu is again on hand to explain. This is sort of like one of the famous designs that many people are familiar with. What can you tell us about this? Anything special about it?
What is special about this one is that kente, as a matter of fact, is very costly. This very one is made in such a way that ordinary people can buy this because it's not that costly. So it is called makomaso adie, which means my heart's desire. It was made so that people marrying can buy for their wives. This is a special kind of what Ashanti kings wear, a replica of the king's kente called yokoma.
How far does this date back to?
It dates back to 1720.
Tell us about the gold, because of course Asante kings have become almost synonymous with gold wearing and the lavish costumes that they have.
Yes, whatever you see around the king or other chiefs is actually made of gold. All the decorations are of gold. They're not just gold. The things that have been coated with gold have been carved in such a way that they also have meanings. And they know when to wear them, which days to wear. It's not every day that you wear all the regalia that you wish to wear. It depends on which situation. When it is celebrating somebody's death, it's all black, red, with gold. But when it is about Akweside or very colorful occasion, that is where everything the king wears is stooped in gold. The king has special artisans because it is not allowed for anybody to copy what a king wears.
When the founder of the Asante Kingdom, Osei Tutu I, died after a long reign in 1717, he was succeeded by Opoku Ware I, who reigned until 1750. He extended the reach of the Asante Kingdom until it covered most of modern Ghana. In 1764, the Asantehene Osei Kwadwo I decided to centralize his kingdom and established a new professional administration based on merit, not birth. This meant that the kingdom was well organized and efficiently run. As a result, the people of Ashantiland lived a comfortable, even prosperous existence, as can be seen in this collection of illustrations by an Italian artist in the 1840s.